There's a quiet strength in knowing when to extend your hand and when to hold it back. Stoicism teaches us that kindness is not weakness and helping others is noble, but it also warns not everyone is ready to be helped. Helping the wrong person can cost more than time. It can drain your energy, disturb your peace, and pull you away from your own growth. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So what happens when you ignore that wisdom? You try to rescue people who aren't drowning. They're clinging to the anchor. You give advice to those who only want validation. You carry others until your own legs start to give. This video is not about abandoning compassion. It's about sharpening it. Today we'll explore 9 types of people you should not help. Not out of cruelty, but clarity. Because real strength is knowing where your help ends and where someone else's responsibility must begin. Let's begin. Type 1. The willfully ignorant. Let's start with the one we often try hardest to save, but shouldn't. The willfully ignorant. These aren't people who lack knowledge. They have access to the truth. They just refuse to face it. They shut the door on reason and throw away the key, not because they can't understand, but because they won't confront themselves. Helping them is like trying to build a ship out of rotten wood. No matter how well you design it, it sinks before it sails. Seneca once said, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." You can offer books, advice, even your own lived experience. But none of that matters if the person in front of you clings to illusion. So ask yourself, are they asking for truth or just comfort? Because the willfully ignorant don't fear being wrong. They fear being exposed. And that's a battle you cannot win for them. Your energy is sacred. Spend it where it can plant roots, not where it's swept away by denial. Ready for type 2? Type 2, the relentlessly entitled now. Let's talk about the relentlessly entitled. The kind of people who believe the world owes them something, yet give nothing in return. They see your help not as a gift, but as their right. No gratitude, no effort, just expectation. Epictetus, once a slave who became a philosopher, understood this deeply. He said, "Man is not worried by real problems, but by his imagined anxieties about real problems." The entitled don't want solutions, they want servants. They build their comfort on your sacrifice, and the more you give, the more they take. Not because they need it, but because they refuse to grow. Ask yourself, are you helping them rise, or are you just keeping them from standing on their own? Stoicism teaches that freedom starts with responsibility, and anyone who refuses to take ownership of their life will only drag you down trying to escape their own gravity. True kindness doesn't mean enabling weakness. It means knowing when to say no, so they can finally say yes to themselves. Coming up next, the most dangerous kind to help. The destructive. Type 3. The destructive. Some people don't come into your life for healing. They come to burn everything down. These are the destructive, not lost souls looking for direction, but walking storms, dragging chaos into every room they enter. Seneca warned us clearly, associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. But the destructive, they don't want to be better. They want to bring others into their mess because it makes them feel less alone in the wreckage. Helping them is like trying to calm a tornado with a whisper. You offer stability, they return sabotage. You offer compassion, they test your limits. And before long, your peace, your values, are swept up in the damage. Stoicism teaches that your tranquility is sacred. If someone refuses to let go of the stone dragging them down, you don't jump in after them. You let go. This isn't cruelty, it's survival. Because to protect your own strength, you must know when someone doesn't want to be saved. And the bravest thing you can do is walk away. Type 4. The perpetually indecisive. Some people don't need advice. They need courage. These are the perpetually indecisive, those who live stuck at the crossroads, paralyzed by endless what-ifs, never choosing a path, but always asking for directions. They'll seek your help, your time, your insight, again and again, but not to take action, just to avoid making a decision they might regret. Seneca said it best, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." Indecision isn't harmless. It's a silent thief. It steals time, energy, and the will to move forward, not just from them, but from you too. You'll pour yourself into guiding them, only to find yourself trapped in their loop of hesitation. They don't want clarity. They want someone else to carry the weight of choice. But here's the truth. No one can walk your path but you. Until they choose to step forward, your support becomes a crutch, not a bridge. Stoicism teaches us that strength lies in action. And sometimes the kindest thing you can do for someone stuck is to stop pulling them and let them take that first step on their own. Type 5. The chronically dishonest. There's a difference between helping someone and being used as cover for their lies. The chronically dishonest are not just people who lie to others. They lie to themselves constantly. They twist the truth, manipulate trust, and reshape reality to suit their needs. Helping them? It might feel noble, but in reality, you're just patching holes in a sinking ship, a ship they're drilling from the inside. Epictetus warned us, live in harmony with nature and reason. Deception is the opposite of both. It breaks the natural trust that binds human beings together. When you aid a dishonest person, you aren't saving them. You're surrendering your values to support theirs. And slowly their falsehoods become yours. You start doubting your instincts. Your peace erodes. Your clarity fades. Integrity is the backbone of a Stoic life. Without it, you're just wandering in the fog. So ask yourself, are you lifting someone toward truth or sinking with someone who rejects it? The wise step back from lies, not because they lack compassion, but because they refuse to lose themselves in someone else's illusion. Type 6, the emotionally addictive. Some people don't seek help. They seek attention dressed as crisis. They aren't growing. They're looping. Every week, it's a new emergency, a new storm you're expected to calm. But somehow they never bring an umbrella. These are the emotionally addictive. They don't want to stand. They want someone to carry them. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. But when you constantly absorb another person's chaos, you surrender that power. You become reactive instead of rational, exhausted instead of grounded. Their drama becomes your identity, and slowly you lose yourself in their never-ending noise. True Stoic compassion isn't about rescuing people from their emotions. It's about helping them build the tools to face them. But if someone refuses to do the work, if they expect you to carry the full weight, that's not healing. That's dependency. So be kind, but draw the line. Offer a hand, but don't let them pull you under. Because enabling emotional addiction isn't mercy, it's self-sacrifice without purpose. Type 7, the resentful. Some people wear resentment like armor, and no matter how much light you offer, they'll find a way to stay in the dark. These are the resentful individuals who blame, complain, and stew in bitterness. They twist kindness into obligation and see generosity as weakness. No matter how pure your intentions, they'll ask, why wasn't it more? Why wasn't it sooner? Epictetus warned us, do not try to seem wise to others. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish. But the resentful don't want improvement. They want vindication. They cling to their anger because it gives them identity, and they're more committed to their suffering than to any solution. Helping them often feels like pouring water into a bottomless pit. No matter how much you give, it never fills. So what do? You protect your peace. You offer wisdom if they seek it with humility, but you don't beg them to change. Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in recognizing where your influence ends. Let go, not from cruelty, but from clarity, because bitterness cannot grow where wisdom stands guard. Type 8. The manipulative helper. There's a special kind of danger in those who appear to help, but only when it serves them. These are the manipulative helpers. They wear a mask of kindness, but underneath lies control, guilt-tripping, and hidden agendas. They'll lend a hand, yes, but expect a leash in return. You may have met one, the person who says, "After all I've done for you," not out of love, but to remind you of the debt they believe you owe. Seneca warned us, "He who gives only for the sake of return is not giving, he is investing." And Stoicism teaches that true virtue is free of manipulation. Real help is offered without chains, without tally marks, without the need for applause. The manipulative helper thrives on obligation. They don't nurture you, they trap you. They don't lift you up. They weigh you down with guilt. If you're constantly questioning whether support comes with strings attached, it's not support, it's control. Stoicism reminds us to give from integrity and to walk away from those who weaponize generosity. Because help should never come with a hook, only with heart, only with. Type 9, the chronic victim. There's a fine line between being wounded and building your entire identity around the wound. The chronic victim is someone who refuses to heal, not because healing is impossible, but because the pain has become their power. They collect injustices like trophies. Every setback, every slight, it's proof that the world is against them. And anyone who tries to help, they're quickly added to the list of those who didn't understand. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." But the chronic victim won't react. They relive it again and again. They don't seek solutions. They seek sympathy. They don't want tools. They want an audience. And any advice you offer becomes another betrayal, another reason to retreat deeper into their narrative. Helping them feels like shouting into a storm. No matter what you say, it's drowned out by the thunder of their own complaints. Stoicism teaches us compassion, yes, but it also teaches us limits. You can hold space for someone's pain, but you can't let them turn your life into their echo chamber. Because healing is a door only they can choose to walk through. So what does all this mean? It means that being kind doesn't always mean saying yes. That helping others must come from wisdom, not guilt. That your strength, your energy, your peace, they are sacred and they must be protected. The Stoics never told us to stop caring. They told us to care wisely, to extend a hand to those reaching back, not to those clinging to their own destruction. Marcus Aurelius said, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think, or do, let this be your compass. Help when it uplifts, withdraw when it corrodes." Your job is not to save everyone. Your job is to stay grounded, clear, and strong, so that when someone is truly ready to rise, you'll be steady enough to lift them. If this message stirred something in you, if it reminded you of someone, or even yourself, share it. And if you're walking the Stoic path with us, subscribe to Timeless Stoic Life for more lessons in strength, clarity, and calm. Until next time, stay grounded, stay discerning, and remember, not everyone can be helped, but you can always choose not to be dragged down.